One Zambia, One Nation. Thank you so much for watching Zanis TV. With the news, I'm Michelle Lubinda. The headlines. Chiwena Bridge works advance. Government to carry emergency works on Ndola Sankanya Road. CDF yields positive results in Chilubi. And WHO commends government for mitigating cholera outbreak. The news in detail. Mumba District Commissioner Namukolo Hayumbu has commended the Zambia National Service for working tirelessly to meet the 14 days ultimatum given by the government to complete works on the washed-away Chiwena Bridge. Earlier, ZNS supervisor on site, Peter Zulu, said the team will be able to beat the completion date of erecting an acro bridge at Chiwena River crossing point on the landless Mumba Road. Kruger Siankulu has more in the following report.
The Zambia National Service engineers are on site erecting the temporary acro bridge at Chiwena, whose culverts were partially washed away after a heavy downpour. The development has excited Mumba District Commissioner Namukolo Hayumbu.
Very happy, and I want to thank the new Don government for the quick reaction and quick intervention, so that at least the people of Chiwena and Mumba as a whole have got a crossing point. The works so far, they have really advanced, and we have people on site 24/7. They are also camping here.
And Lieutenant Colonel Peter Zulu, the supervisor on the site, now takes us through the scope of works done so far.
So like on the works that are remaining, we are trying to keep to the 14 days ultimatum. Otherwise, we are almost halfway doing the bridge. So far, we are just halfway again doing the transforms for the main bridge, because where I'm standing here is a launching nose of the 700 XS acro.
Meanwhile, road users have appreciated the commencement of erecting the acro bridge.
Because bridge basically kambi yenze basically ni riski kupita pa bridge yako yati yenze kona ma cracks. So hapa manje ti tionga ziko mukuli government kuti atiranga napo pale nkanya bridge.
So at least hapa mwa bangira manje ikasira tizambera bwino olomwera yambira tangira bwino kati ziwa kutika sira tizamuenda chebwino kuchoka kwe uyenda wa
Kruger Siankulu, Zanis, Mumbwa.
On the Copper Belt Province, Minister of Infrastructure and Urban Development Charles Milupi has directed the Road Development Agency RDA to engage the Zambia Army to carry out emergency works on the Ndola Sankanya Road, where hundreds of trucks are stuck due to the deplorable state of the road. And Mr. Milupi has also assured Copper Belt residents that construction of critical roads in the province will commence this year. Frank Chingambu gives us the details.
A physical inspection of the now infamous Misundu Road in Ndola by Minister of Infrastructure and Urban Development Charles Milupi and his counterparts from Transport and Logistics and Copperbelt Province. Mr. Milupi is on the Copperbelt to physically check the state of roads, among them those in Ndola's Central Business District, particularly President Avenue. He is not happy with the current state of roads here.
There has been absolutely no works done on this road. As you turn, going up the way on your left, that is the turn off to go to Arthur Davison Hospital.
Yeah.
So this is an ambulance route.
Yeah.
You can imagine the discomfort to patients. You literally die in the ambulance on your way to the hospital.
Yeah. It can lead you to Pamoza. It can lead you to Senior Township. It can lead you to Chipurukusu, Mapalo Township, where we have thousands of voters. So this was one of the promises we made.
It gives us many lessons as a country. This was once a tar road. You can see there's some tar here. But because there was no regular maintenance, the deterioration here has affected the surface. So it requires now to be totally rebuilt. There are no potholes to patch here.
No.
You can't do anything. You have to reconstruct it. Yeah.
He also toured Ndeke Minmat and Ndola Sakanya roads.
I've just given instructions to RDA to engage with Zambia Army immediately to see what they can do As I've said, in matters of this nature, in serving our citizens, the new Dawn administration will utilize all assets available at our disposal. Zambia Army is one such asset, and they have the knowledge, the ability to come and do something for us here.
Earlier, Mr. Milupi and his entourage called on the chairperson of the Lamba Lima Royal Council of Chiefs, Chief Nkambo IV.
And on behalf of my fellow Royal Highnesses here on the Copper Belt, I'm saying we are together. If it means dying, we have to die together with the new Dawn government under the able leadership of His Excellency, Mr. Hakainde Hichilema.
Zanis reports in Ndola, Copper Belt Province.
We continue with the news. The significant upward adjustment of the Constituency Development Fund, which was increased from 1.6 million to 25.7 million kwacha per constituency, is already bearing fruits. Chilubi Local Court is being rehabilitated using CDF to the tune of over 68,700 kwacha. More in the following report.
The significant increase of the Constituency Development Fund CDF from 1.6 million kwacha to 25.7 million per constituency provides an opportunity to make service delivery more responsive to public needs. In Chilubi Island, the Constituency Development Fund CDF is already yielding positive results, as can be seen from the 68,700 kwacha CDF rehabilitation works at the local court. And Chief Justice Dr. Mumba Malila is happy that the community is putting public funds to good use.
We are very impressed that CDF have been used to renovate court structure. I would wish to urge other constituencies to emulate what is happening in Chilubi. CDF is intended to take care of projects at constituency level.
The contractors assured the government of quality works.
The contract sum for this project is 68,710 kwacha 65 ingwe. The scope of works of this project was to do a rehabilitation of the local court. It had no power, so we had to install the electrical works.
From Chilubi Island, the Chief Justice and his team proceeded to Luwingu District to check on the welfare of the judiciary. Luwingu Subordinate Court Magistrate in charge, Mebin Kapaya, highlighted some challenges the office is confronted with.
We don't have a holding cell, we don't have a witness shelter, we don't have exhibit rooms. Yes, so we just improvise. The toilet, it's unfortunate that you didn't enter. We use it as the exhibit room at times, yes.
The Chief Justice and his team later toured Mungwi Local Court in Mungwi District. Helen Bwalia for Zanis in Mungwi, Northern Province.
In Central Province Minister Credo Nanjua says the provincial administration is concerned with the escalating prices of mealie meal in the region. Mr. Nanjua was speaking during the tour of the Food Reserve Agency storage sheds in Kabwe District. Details in this report.
I want to say that the province has sufficient stocks of maize grain. I'll repeat that the province has sufficient stocks of maize grain, and therefore there is no need for anyone to do panic buying. We see queues, but here is what has been happening. What we know as a matter of truth is that there are some millers who, after government opened or liberalized the sales of mealie meal, they got prepayments from international markets. And Food Reserve Agents has been releasing maize to millers. But at the end of the day, some millers have been milling for international market at the expense of satisfying the local market. That also government will be very reluctant to give maize through FRA to millers who only want to satisfy international market at the expense of local market. Last year, we were talking of getting into March. Farmers were still looking for their inputs. This year, before 15th of January, almost all the farmers in this province had received their inputs to these levels. Now, that is not to say that is what the New Dawn administration expected. We met a few challenges along the way, but we can confidently say that more than any other year, 5 years backwards, this year, government has delivered to the farmers in record time than any other year, 2-3 years down the line backwards.
That's how we are as a province. And I think just from the onset, I wish to tell you that as a province we've really done very well so far. All our suppliers managed to distribute the contractual obligations. We are worried about, the fertilizer, but as it 30th January, all the fertilizers have since come into province, except just for a few tonnages, meant for Gawe and also meant for Chibombo. But otherwise, as it were, we can call it more or less like 99% that has been received, which is for us as a ministry and as the province, we are very excited.
We continue with the news. The local authority in Chinsali district has disclosed that many restaurant owners are not registering for valid food handlers certificates. Chinsali Municipal Council Assistant Public Relations Manager Lolivwa Simukoko also disclosed that the Public Health Department has started heightening preventive measures against the spread of cholera. Henry Lumpa Jr. has the details.
In the advent of cholera cases reported in Vupi district in Eastern Province, the Chinsali local authority in Umchinga province have started heightening preventive measures to curb the spread of the disease to the district. With Chinsali not recording any cases of cholera for many years now, restaurant operators, especially at the Chinsali main market, have expressed worry over the cholera outbreak in the neighboring province. However, the local authority have also raised concerns over the low compliance levels of some restaurant operators of getting food handler certificates while heightening the cholera preventive measures.
We wouldn't love to come and intervene in their activities, as it would actually negatively affect their businesses. So in order to avoid any inconveniences, we encourage them to ensure that they are certified with food handlers certificate. That way we'll be moving in the same direction.
Timfwembe Kalao is Chinsali main market chairperson and has since appealed to the council to supply more beans around eating places.
Number one,
other restaurant operators have also advised their colleagues to validate their food handlers certificates. In a bid to curb the spread of diseases such as cholera as well as COVID-19, there is need for integrated efforts among various stakeholders. Henry Lumpa Jr., Zanis in Chinsali, Mchinga Province.
Now in Kasama District, Permanent Secretary for Special Duties Patrick Mcheleka has called for a paradigm shift in public service delivery. Mr. Mcheleka made the call during the engagement meeting with government heads of department in the district. Details in the following report.
He has continued with his tour of districts to the province. Special Duties Permanent Secretary Patrick Mcheleka visited Kasama District, where he had an engagement meeting with government heads of departments. Here, the Permanent Secretary urged civil servants to have a change of mindset towards work and effectively implement government policies. Mr. Mcheleka said civil servants should show commitment and dedication towards work if they are to enhance service delivery.
The people that are positioned to bring down poverty among our people, to help our people come out of poverty ourselves through the services that we provide. To what extent are we really committed to the cause that we are employed for, and that we can proudly say yes, we are working and poverty levels can come down.
Earlier, the Permanent Secretary paid a courtesy call on Kasama District Commissioner Elizabeth Goma.
Most ministries don't have the vehicles, sir. So this has been a challenge. Outside one, the police, they have no vehicle. You know, sometimes even when you say there's a problem somewhere, like in Rwagwe, they fail to move.
Through the usage of the Constituency Development Fund, there's money that has been allocated to buy motor vehicles for each constituency for our officers. We shall be talking about significantly changing the lives of the people for the better.
Taonga Nkoma reporting for Zanis in Kasama.
Now in Western Province, Nalolo District has been allocated 4,000 by 50 kilograms of relief white maize. Acting District Administrative Officer Kimbii Mwelwa disclosed this when Provincial Minister Kapelwa Mbangweta visited the area. We have more in this report by Sifue Mwangala.
Nalolo District is among the districts in the country whose crops have not been spared by the floods. An estimated hectareage of over 1,000 cassava and maize fields have been submerged. The situation poses a risk to the food security. However, the District Disaster and Mitigation Unit has allocated 400 by 50 bags of maize to the district. Acting District Administrative Officer Kimbii Mwelwa disclosed this when Western Province Minister Kapelwa Mbangweta visited the area.
I'm glad to announce to you, Honorable Minister, that my government, your government, and our government, under the able leadership of His Excellency President Hakainde Hichilema, has already allocated 200 metric tons of maize to Nalolo district, of which 250 by 50 kgs is already in the district and ready for this distribution.
Meanwhile, speaking when addressing civil servants, the provincial minister called for an efficient and productive civil service.
So that is what has brought you people who don't come from Nalolo here to work to bring development to the people of Nalolo. Because the people of Nalolo, just like anybody else, and in all countries actually, people pay taxes in the countries of their origin. You don't pay taxes in somebody's country. And so this is the reason why when we have come to a particular place, we have to apply ourselves because they are the people.
And Acting District Social Welfare Officer Trust Chingala thanked government for actualizing the decentralization policy.
We want to clap for you and commend you in the New Dawn government for the trajectory of decentralization, because by definition you have heard that it has given us the power now to control and take care of the resources and place them where exactly they are needed.
Sifue Mwangala, Zanis News, in Nalolo District, Western Province.
Still in the news, the Seventh-day Adventist General Conference President, Elder Teddy Wilson, has called on SDA members to remain faithful to the Lord. The SDA president said this when he addressed hundreds of SDA church members at Mungu Airport. Darlington Kabambe has more in this report.
The Seventh-day Adventist General Conference President, Dr. Ted Wilson, has implored church members to remain strong and faithful to the Lord in Western Province. The SDA world leader said this when he addressed hundreds of church members at his arrival at Mungu Airport in Western Province.
We are grateful to the government of Zambia and this local region. Now I want to encourage you to be strong in the Lord, to be faithful to the Word of God, to lift up the standards in the Bible and the spirit of prophecy.
And the SDA Southern Zambia Union President, Dr. Vani Munyumbo, said the church was clocking 94 years since its establishment in 1928 in Western Province.
Today we are making history again with the Kuta, in that this 94th year, now we have the landing of an aeroplane, not to bring the first missionary of the Seventh-day Adventist Church to Barosland, but now to bring the president of the Worldwide Seventh-day Adventist Church. And today we are talking of 22 million baptized members of the Seventh-day Adventist Church in 210 countries.
You are running schools, you are running hospitals, and you also have your agency, ADRA, which is a relief, a disaster relief agency. It helps in terms of emergencies and disasters. So we are grateful to the Seventh-day Adventist Church for this work they are doing in this region.
After touring the Yuka Adventist Mission Hospital in Kalabo District, the General Conference President, Dr. Ted Wilson, had this to say.
That's why I want to urge you to keep your eyes focused on your objective of praising God. As you keep your eyes on Him, you will walk securely. God has called you to be a strong witness for Him.
Darlington Kawambe, reporting for Zanis News in Western Province.
The International Labour Organization ILO has commended government for creating a fully fledged Ministry of Small and Medium Enterprise Development (SME). International Labour Organization Country Director George Okutu made the commendation when he officiated at the launch of the Start and Improve Your Business Trainer of Trainers in Lusaka yesterday. Mr. Okutu stated that small and medium enterprises are important to meet Zambia's 2023 agenda for sustainable development, as they are responsible for more than 2/3 of all jobs worldwide. He added that SMEs are crucial not only for employment creation and economic growth, but also as a driver to innovation and competition in the market. And Zanaco head of SME banking, Nyangu Mwansa, mentioned that the Start and Improve Your Business developed by ILO aligns with their goals of supporting SMEs' growth.
We have been in discussion with the government, and I think we are agreeing on a few areas. One is to look at the SME as a very important sector. And I think the government has done that by putting a fully fledged ministry taking care of the MSEs. We're also agreeing that entrepreneurship development skills training need to begin early in the school system, so that by the time children leave grade 12, they at least have some ideas of how to begin their own businesses. So we are extremely happy that Nutberry Trees Consultant, our partners with Zanabo to do this training.
We're happy to note that the Start and Improve Your Business SIYB training program, developed by ILO, which has been delivered here today, aligns with our goals of supporting SME growth. As a bank, we believe SMEs are a catalyst for growth as they produce goods and services, they create employment, and are a source of income for many, many people around the country.
As you may be aware, the landscape for entrepreneurs is constantly improving in Zambia. We appreciate the efforts by the government and its political will to ensure an economic environment is provided for that would lead to meaningful success stories by various entrepreneurs.
Finally, in the news, Team Zambia has succumbed to a third defeat at the ongoing World Chess Olympiad for the Disabled in Serbia, Belgrade, after losing to Fiji, Venezuela and Germany. Yesterday's defeat by Germany came barely a day after Zambia faced Kenya, where they won the game and got a point. And Chess Federation of Zambia President Leslie Chikuse, who is also delegation leader, says the team is in high spirit despite losing the 3 games. Chikuse has attributed the loss to lack of exposure and experience by the team members. Zanis reports that the team is remaining with 2 games to be played before the tournament comes to an end on February 5, 2023. Last Saturday, a 5-member squad went to Serbia for the World Chess Olympiad for the Disabled. That sporting item brings us to the end of this bulletin, but before we go, a recap of stories that made headlines. Chiwena Bridge works advance. Government to carry emergency works on Ndola Sankanya Road. CDF yields positive results in Chilubi. And WHO commends government for mitigating cholera outbreak. That's the news. On behalf of the entire production team, this has been Michelle Olwinda. Thank you so much for watching, and continue watching Zanis TV, the People's Channel. Good night.